The December golf tip is something I've had some requests for in the past and never had the ideal conditions to demonstrate, but you can see behind me here that there's a lot of water on the tee, so we've got a very muddy shot, and so I have about a 50-yard pitch shot here, and the tendency when it's very muddy is to dig deep into the ground and sometimes hit a little fat and come up short of the target. So usually when I have a 50-yard pitch shot, I will use my lob wedge. However, the lob wedge has a fairly sharp leading edge, and so that has a tendency to dig when the ground is wet like that. So what I'm going to do is put the lob wedge aside, and I'm going to use my sand wedge, which has a little more bounce on the bottom, and that little bit of bounce as it hits the ground will prevent the club from digging as I come into the ball there. Now here's another reason that you tend to hit this shot a little fat. So I'm first going to demonstrate the poor shot. You can see, and as I come into the ball here, I get a big fat splat, and even though my technique isn't bad, I hit behind the ball. Now let me show you the correct way. First of all, notice in the address position, and I'll pull up the old address position here. Look where my ball position was. Look where my ball position now is. I've moved the ball a little further back in my stance to make sure that I hit this ball first. And then the second thing is when I come into the ball. So there's my backswing. I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you a demonstration here. As I come into the ball right there and here, notice how I'm turning through the ball a little bit more, and when I finish, here I was finishing with my hips not all the way turned. Here I'm finishing with my hips all the way through to the target. So the two key things when you have a muddy lie is, first of all, play the ball a little further back in your stance to ensure. Use a sand wedge instead of the lob wedge, and then when you come through, once you start your downswing, make sure that left side really turns through the ball so that when you finish, your belt buckle is all the way through to the target. Use those and you'll hit a few less of those little muddy fat shots. Enjoy your Christmas and New Year, and we'll see you again in January.